Is that correct? What is the difference between, and that's why we don't have compassion for people that are in prison. Because we like, well, we living in prison, so why can't they? Do you see the general attitude is like, well, I'm in prison, why couldn't he go along with this prison? We can submit and work and go along with the imprisonment of this society, so should that person have. So we accept imprisonment as our cultural framework, of our cultural dynamic. Our highest aspiration of how we should live is imprisoned. Is told what to do from 9 to 5 throughout the day. How I should live my life. What I should do, when I can take a vacation. When I can take a lunch break. When I can do this. What I must read to go to school. What I must study. So their whole lifestyle, being told what to do by oppressive government, driving the streets, told when to stop and go at every traffic sign. Don't break no laws. Follow all the instructions. This society demands complete and utter compliance. And sometimes when people harass or comply, they are still harassed. Not only, they don't even want compliance, they want you to be subdued. So it ain't even compliance anymore, because now you follow every instruction and they still coming to you saying, making sure that you are not only compliant but subdued. You got your license and driver's license and this, that, and the other? Yeah, I got it. If you have too much authority about yourself, you're a criminal. You got your insurance card. You got your driver's license and you give it to him. Here you go, officer. Here's my ID. Huh? You smart? You're a smart guy, huh? You got some authority about yourself, huh? Okay, we're taking you to jail anyway. We'll find something. Right. So you are now, they don't want compliance, they want you to be subdued. So the average mindset, the culture of the collective, of the mass population of our people is a subdued culture. We live in a subdued state. So when we see somebody that's going to jail, we're saying, well, if you ain't going to go along, they'll force you to go along. So they should be forced to go along. You're not going to follow the directions and the codes of this society, then this is what happens to you. You end up in jail. And this is justifiable. That's back when slavery was legal. You don't follow the codes of this society, you get hung. Right. You should have listened to your master. Right. As though human degradation was not an atrocity in and of itself. Like there's any justification for the degradation of humanity. Period. There is no call, period. There's no justification. There's no circumstance where human degradation and demoralization should be justified. Well, in this society, we have justified it. Brother locked up for 3 hours for using somebody else's library card.
What? Who's this?
Literally arrested.
Who's this?
He only was locked up for 3 hours. But my point is, he was imprisoned for using somebody else's library card and has a court date and all this for just using somebody else's library card. I said, what's the logic in this? Nobody was harmed. They're not even, it's not even a just system because they're penalizing people irrationally. You do this, you locked up for 5 years. You do this, you're going to jail for this many years. But if you look at some of the crimes, the Bible said a life for a life, a tooth for a tooth, correct? So if you have not taken a life, why are you doing life? Even the allegations that they made about Dr. York, what lives have he taken? What life is gone to take his life? Right. 136 years, that's life.
Shit don't make sense.
So how do you rationalize taking somebody's life if they have never taken a life? But you just took a life by putting him in jail for 136 years, right? Well, who's going to take your life? That's the question that we have to ask themselves. If it got to be real justice, according to their law, an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, if you take our people and lock our people down, then some of them need to be taken and locked down. And that's justice according to their,
Yes, sir.
according to their system.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that are performing the real crimes. What we should do for what they did to us, if it was about justice, for what they continue to perpetuate. Oh, I didn't have nothing to do with slavery. Those were my forefathers. No, you have something to do with slavery today. When you have a system that imposes people and a strict, ridiculous, compulsory education system that imposes the knowledge on people that's less than the knowledge of themselves. You today are participating in the enslavement of our people. Today you are. It's not just about what your forefathers doing. You're perpetuating a white supremacist energy on your corporate job, working for the media, working for advertisement, working for the news. These jobs perpetuate white supremacist images that go into the mindset of our people. So today they have criminalized our people. So they have enslaved our people mentally. So how do they need to be treated? In order to get justice with them, we have to literally take them and sit them in a room and scramble their goddamn minds up. Because that's what they have done to us. This is a mind scrambling. The knowledge that they're teaching us that's so irrelevant to who we are. You claim to educate our people, but the result of education should be the application of information that elevates a person's survival. Education should be the application of information that elevates a person's survival. But our education system, our communities remain the same. They stay on the top, we stay on the bottom. So how have they educated us? Then education should prepare you for the next stages of your personal development. But they say this child didn't want to learn. But the whole purpose of a school was to teach a child, to educate them for the next level of their development. And if you're incapable to do that, how can you be considered an education process? You're not an education process. You're a domestication process. You're just a training camp to find who are the most compliant and who are the most subservient individuals. That's what they're looking for, so that they can become the fuel to plug them up and become the engine to run their bullshit-ass matrix. They're not trying to educate people. They don't care nothing about education. They want to make sure you get A's for complying. You did all your homework assignments. Everything has to do with compliance. It doesn't have to do with how the actual mind of the individual is developed. Because every individual is unique. So if every individual is unique, how do you grade everybody on the same scale unless you're trying to force everybody to comply into a particular model? Ain't that deep? So if you're trying to get everybody to comply into a particular model, that has nothing to do with education. That's cloning. That's mental cloning. Because real education, to really see how developed an individual is, it would have to be a unique methodology. Because people's brains function differently. People are different. Some people are more emotional, some people are more rational, some people are more left brain, some people are more right brain, some people are more artistic, some people are more this. But they try to fit everybody into this one model and grade them all on one scale. What are you grading them for? You grade eggs, or grade A eggs, grade A meat. You know what I'm saying? So we're packaging children now in our school. Packaging them for what? School uniforms. That's packaging. Our children are being created as meat. You understand, bacon? To be shipped into their work factories. You know what I'm saying? To fit into their training programs to help him be on top. Now that's destruction of our civilization today, because they're not allowed to grow and develop to become the gods and deities that they have within themselves, because it is illegal to be a god. It is illegal to be absolutely clear about who you are. To receive information and instructions from any other place other than them is against the law. Literally, it is against the law, 100%. To receive information from another entity, from another place that says, we should set it up, we should build it like this, this is what we should do. It's against the law. They come and say, who told you to do this? Who told you? Who gave you permission to do this? That means that if it does not come from them and their infrastructure, then it is an act that is illegal. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, because their infrastructure is meant to keep them in power. That's why it was set up. So whatever they're going to permit to happen is that which is going to make them stay in the positions that they're in. So it's that which is impermissible. It is the forbidden acts that is the antithesis of their power structure. That's heavy. It is the forbidden acts that is the opposite of their stronghold over the black community. Period. Every act that they allow, they only allow for one reason. It supports their infrastructure and their system and them staying in a position of power.